Hello everyone, welcome to Killer Frequency, a game where you play as a big-time radio host sent to small-town Gallows Creek. Now, I did play this game about a year ago or so, but I wanted to branch my content out and share some of my other interests such as achievement hunting and speedrunning. Maybe I'll come back and try and speedrun Killer Frequency if that's something that you guys want to see. You know, there's a comment section. Let me know. But for now, let's start with trying to get 100% of the achievements on the game. I do have a Steam guide open in the background. I'll be frequently checking for the first run, where I'll have to go through the game with everyone surviving, collecting and playing all ads and records, then completing the game in under 4 hours. Now, again, I did previously play the game, so I do already have some achievements unlocked, which I will put on screen now. Anyways, let's get to the hunt. And if you do enjoy, maybe subscribe for future videos like this, or don't. I'm not your boss.
Anyway, you ready to do the pre-flight checks?
Okay.
Seriously? Do we have to do these checks every time?
Yes.
Do you have to call them that?
Yes.
He pays us to check the equipment before each show.
Alright. Pre-flight checks aside, this is your captain speaking, and, oh. What's that? Wrong job. Yeah, right. Okay. Welcome to 189.16, The Screen, and I'm your host, Forrest Oh, wait. No, wrong script again. And I'm your host, ShyRose13, or just Shy, the other one's a mouthful. Anyways, jumping right into it, we are seated in our little box, where you'll find me constantly spinning around the desk or tossing stuff, as there's not a whole lot to do between calls. So skipping straight to our first caller, we have Leslie, where we find out she is our 911 operator, and things have already started out terrible, as she has found the body of a fellow officer, Sheriff Matthews, and needs our help to get herself and Deputy Martinez alive, who she also finds, though she is unconscious. Before we start that, however, Leslie tells us she's routed all 911 calls to us, allowing us to handle all emergencies over the next 3 hours or so. Because, of course, we're the best option in this whole town. Anyways, back to our two officers. Leslie tells us that our unknown killer has left Deputy Martinez in a holding cell and threw the keys inside with her. Unable to grab the keys herself, we're left with a few options, being trying to break the door, find another way into the cell, or finding another set of keys. Of course, this is a, well, jail. There's no breaking anything, or second way in, leaving us with finding another set of keys, which is found with the body of Sheriff Matthews. Leslie retrieves an unconscious Martinez from the holding cell and lets us know she's taking her to the not-so-near town of Henderson to get help, as we later learn our phone lines have been cut. And then, something explodes. Leslie speaks again, and lets us know that our car is now on fire, because, you know, nothing ever goes right. We hear the explosion on the other end, and it's followed by a faint melodic whistle. Leslie pauses. She knows something we don't, and we are named to our killer, the Whistling Man. Leslie tells us she sees them approach and quickly tell her to lock the doors and take a police cruiser to Henderson instead, since, you know, her car clearly isn't an option anymore. Encountering a new problem of how she's supposed to get to the car in the first place, we ask her to take the sheriff's gun, to which, of course, it's missing. We ask if she can find any other weapons, and we are faced with another 3 options. We tell her to take the taser. Leslie hangs up for a few moments to get herself and Martinez to the car. When she calls back, we hear a small scuffle and the sound of a taser. Leslie then lets us know she'll be heading off to Henderson now, and she'll call us to check in later.
Okay. What happened to him?
Well, police chased him up to Alice Point one night. We call it Whistling Point now. And it was, well...
Oh my god, wait. Oh, I want to balance these on top of that so bad.
Jumped into the river. His body was never found.
So is he alive? Dead?
That's awesome.
What's the story?
Ooh, I need to find something I can stack on top of that.
To take revenge on the town.
Alright, that's the story. What's the truth?
Anyways, balancing stuff on top of microphones aside and stacking whatever else I can find around the office. In between calls, you'll see me either playing records or playing ads to get both of the achievements disc jockey and a word from our sponsors, for playing all records and playing all radio ads during the course of the night. Now, of course, I will not get this achievement till later, as there are a couple missing records and a couple missing ads that you have to find throughout the game. But for now, let's move on to our second caller.
Hello, caller. You're live on the screen with me, Forrest Nash.
What? I dialed 911. I need the sheriff right away.
Okay, right. Well, I'm filling in for 911 tonight. What's your name and what's your trouble?
My name is Sandra Sharp, and I need the cops now.
I'm sorry, but the cops aren't coming.
Right. With our second caller being Sandra Sharp, who owns a jazz studio, she's audibly panicked. Understandably so, she tells us she needs the cops. We let her know, of course, we are 911 for the night. Sandra tells us she was being followed and make it to her car, though along the way she dropped her keys and cannot go back for them. Faced with the challenge of having to start a car with no other option, we tell her to remain calm and we leave the office for a moment where we find a magazine left in the bathroom on how to hotwire a car. Starting with putting a screwdriver in the ignition and twisting clockwise, unscrewing the steering column, and then we tell her not to panic once more. Do your jazz breathing, whatever that is. Strip and twist together the red and yellow wires, then strip the purple wire and brush against the twisted wires. This gets the car going, and Sandra thanks us, escaping as our second survivor of the night. The screwdriver in the ignition.
In the ignition and twist clockwise.
Here goes, baby. Screwdriver's too fat to fit. What next?
Unscrew the steering column.
All right. Just turn. 1, 2, 1, 2.
The power of the alligator, the discipline of the tarantula, the speed of the tuna.
Dude, I want to learn the speed of the tuna. That sounds awesome. Next up, we have Maurice, who works for the local paper and tells us someone broke into the office. Though he doesn't believe that this whistling man is a threat until we tell him he killed Sheriff Matthews. Why? Well, every year, same night, the local teens play pranks on each other during Whistling Night. Which first happened 50 years ago when the original killings happened. Or so we think. When we finally get Maurice to agree to let us help, we're faced with a huge problem. The whistling man has blocked off the only exit with heavy filing cabinets and Maurice needs time to move them. Oh my god, that was so bright! Devising a plan, Maurice sends us a fax of the office layout where we have Peggy call different rooms to distract the whistling man and eventually trapping him in the secret archives, as it's the only room without a second exit, giving him time to escape. First, we call the editor's office and tell Maurice to hide in the kitchen. We ask if he can lock him in a room, which is where the secret archives comes in. But with no phone in there, we use a radio which is tuned to our station, where we remain quiet until Maurice is ready to trap the whistling man. After the stage is set, we tell Maurice to hide in a nearby cabinet, then lure the whistling man into the secret archives. Maurice jumps out and locks the whistling man inside, allowing him to escape by moving the filing cabinets mentioned previously.
189.16. I know that's your station number, but a good editor always double checks. You confirm that?
189.16, The Scream. Gallows Creek's best and only phone-in talk show with me, Forrest Nash.
Oh, okay, Peggy.
And me, Peggy.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
Got the radio on silent, but I'm tuned in.
Alright, real quick before we move on to our next caller, Peggy lets us know that she has slid a tape for us under her door, and whenever we go grab it, we come back and play it, and then we get the achievement award from our sponsors.
Straight to voicemail? My god. Are there any professionals at KFAM? This is Gina Franklin. I'm calling because your backwater station has not honored our agreement.
Alrighty, after the tape, Peggy has us play off air, which has Gina complaining about how she had given the station a copy of Roddy Snatcher's new single, and the station has not honored their agreement by playing it. Anyways, we learned Peggy is a huge fan of Roddy Snatcher and talks through the whole song. After that, we receive a call from our next caller, Virginia, who says she sees the whistling man outside her house. She's audibly panicked. Hell, she can hardly tell us what's going on, along with being unable to tell us her address. We ask if she can call a neighbor for help, to which she tells us everyone's busy, but there is a fraternity down the street, and they've been ordering takeout all night. There's beer cans all over the lawn. You know, the usual. Remember that, it will be important in a few seconds. We ask Virginia to tell us the name of the frat or the takeout place. She's panicked and says she doesn't know, and she can't do this. And she hangs up. Awesome. Leaving us to figure out if 24 minus 11 equals 13, then how many apples is in the sky? Or something, I don't know. We go downstairs into the kitchen, collecting another record as progress for the disc jockey achievement. We also find a pizza box in the trash stating 1 free beer for every point Gallows Creek scores for the big game. We decide that equivalates to blue. We go back upstairs to order food to the frat, requesting them to call the station when they get their order. And then we wait. When the frat calls, we inform them, barely, their neighbor is in danger and they have to go help or relocate the party to her house, keeping Virginia alive another night and earning us somebody order a savior.
Forrest, it's the killer. He's at the door.
So are a ton of frat boys.
Oh my god, it's you, isn't it? God, I didn't talk, I promise.
The party has arrived!
Oh, thank God. He's gone and... Oh!
Oh, is that you, Radio Man? Don't worry, we brought the beer. Good times, Hihi.
Oh no, poor Virginia.
I could use a drink. Thank you, Forrest.
You're welcome. You have fun with that, lady.
You're welcome, Virginia.
Okay, next caller on the line we have Eugene, waiting in the middle of Maze, of all places, leaving him in quite the predicament as he begins hearing the rustling of leaves out in the maze and a whistle. Eugene doesn't remember the way out. We tell him to keep calm, call back in just a minute, and we'll figure out how to get him out. Peggy tells us Barbara, our receptionist, is a huge fan of Maze and probably has a copy of the map downstairs. Once we retrieve her from the trash, we come back and Eugene calls back. Using the landmarks he sees around him, we're able to guide him safely out of the maze just in time, giving us Child of the Corn Maze. Go backwards.
Go backwards.
Why didn't I just invite her over?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder that too.
I'm at a crossroads.
Okay,
There's a pitchfork statue up ahead. Which way?
go left.
Go left.
I didn't want Ponty's Pizza, move.
I was meant to go.
Go right.
I just wanted some.
No.
But there's a tiny barn in front of me and a scarecrow behind me. Nothing to my sides.
Go right.
Go right.
Officially on part 3 of the game, we have a call from a woman named Dawn who is creepily close to the microphone, if you ask me. She asks if we can play her record, but Peggy's throwing it out the window. Ignoring her call for the time being, we receive a call from Murphy, who's currently trapped in a dumpster of the Gallows waste disposal plant. And it's on fire. Yay. Come to find out, our whistling man has, well, slashed the tires on the town's only fire engine, so unable to get any kind of help, Peggy tells us she knows a few people nearby who would help Murphy out. Settling on Catherine, who's the closest, we send her over and guide her to Murphy, who's trapped in the recycling sector. More importantly, heading straight to the crusher. Thankfully, Catherine gets him out alive, and arguably more important, we get the achievement for Fernando.
Okay, it's super loud. We're almost out of time. There are 3 dumpsters here, 1 for Gallows Creek Council, Henderson Disposal, and Wyatt Ridge Municipal.
Go to Henderson.
The Henderson container.
I found him!
Thank God! Let's haul ass!
Okay, so far so good. Next up we have Carrie, whose call starts out a little different. She and her friends are hanging out at the old murder house when she begins getting chased by the whistling man. Though, upon further inspection and further proof towards Peggy's claims of the pranks happening on Whistling Night every year, we learn it was just one of her friends. But wait, if Seth, the presumed false killer, is next to Carrie, who's that, breathing under the mask? Jimmy, one of the friends, is suddenly stabbed, sending Carrie and her friends scattering for inside. They realize they have an escape route, the van they came in, but there's one problem. Jimmy had the keys, and well, Jimmy's outside. After listening for a few minutes of the friends arguing, we finally cut in and ask what's happening, where Carrie explains everyone's volunteering to do things they're just bad at. And we have to be the one to assign roles for their little plan they've come up with. We tell them to hold on just a moment, and Peggy tells us one of their friends was introduced to the station as an intern, and maybe there's something down there we can use to help figure this out. Going downstairs, we find a little desk tucked away, and on it is a friendship quiz. Returning back upstairs, we're ready to assign roles.
Who's under there anyway? Is that you, Seth?
good. Seth is right next to you. That's, wait.
Oh no.
Who are you? Oh no, man!
Oh, you can't even hear my soundboard.
Get inside!
Carrie states they need someone on the roof to overlook everything. They need a good climber. We decide on Heather. Then we need someone to lockpick the gate. Deciding on Jennifer, we then move on to the third role, which Carrie volunteers herself for, being to grab the keys off of Jimmy's body. Then part 4 of the plan is leading away the Whistling Man. We need someone who can lead away the Whistling Man, and from the list we decide, Hot David is the best for the role. Okay. They decide to use someone to fake being injured to lure away the Whistling Man, who ends up being Lisa. And then a driver, which ends up being Chad. Anyways, afterwards the plan is executed, and everyone makes it out alive. And then we receive another call from the one and the only Dawn, who is still insistent on playing her record, forcing Forrest to leave the office and go outside to retrieve the record.
There's a serial killer on the loose. I can't just go outside hunting for a record.
I'm really sorry, Dawn, but we just can't get it right now.
But wasn't the Whistling Man just at the old murder house that's miles from the station and won't take you a second to grab it?
Relocating our own party downstairs, Forrest retrieves the fire exit key from Peggy and heads outside and gets Dawn's record. Going to head back inside, we discover Forrest has been locked out. But thankfully, there should be a way back in through the basement. And after dropping in through the window, we end up in Clive's janitor basement? Sure, we're, gonna go with that. And inside is a, well, not very secret door, to be frank. It's in like a utility shelf? No, something like that. We're gonna go with that. And again, to be completely honest, it's a very, very odd room. It's full of papers and evidence board and newspaper clippings from, like, it's just very, very weird. But moving on once more, we head back upstairs to play Dawn's record, but not before stopping by the kitchen to toss a mannequin head into the fridge to get the fridge horror achievement. We tell Peggy about some of our findings and move on to a quick call using the evidence board that we brought upstairs, along with some of the newspaper clippings. Though instead of being the called, we are the caller this time around. Using the clues Clive left behind, we derive a lottery winner named Chuck is next on the list. We send him a quick call, and out he goes, surviving the Whistling Man. Possibly the easiest and quickest call if you... yeah. Before we leave to go investigate downstairs again, we receive a small, well-needed intermission from a man who goes by Roller Ricky and his dog Max, who has impressively learned to roller skate at the rink he owns. Anyways, going back downstairs once again to investigate more, we find a key, and we're able to open another door, which leads into a not as strange, but still rather creepy room, where we find these tapes detailing the truth behind the Whistling Man, at least most of it, about how, just like it had this time around, Whistling Night had started as a harmless prank all that time ago. But as things do, something went wrong. Georgia Barrow, the supposed to be butt of the joke, was murdered. He was drowned, they said. He was shoved off of the top of this cliff. Returning upstairs once more, we receive another call from Dawn, who has a unusual request, more unusual than being so insistent on her record being played. She is locked out of her apartments on Woodside, but from the evidence we found downstairs, the security system she claims she needs the shutoff code to was never installed on that side of town, and then a dog barks. Something's off about this call. We tried to call back Roller Ricky, but he can't hear us over the sound of music. We leave momentarily to check some of the materials we found downstairs, one of which being the manual for this security system, the supposed one that she needs the code to. Trusting this strange feeling we have, we give her instead the test code, and when she puts it inside, the alarm blares. And out comes Roller Ricky, scaring away what we know now as the Whistling Woman with his firearm, and Max.
She? Forrest, man, you got no idea. That was him! That was the Whistling Man! The alarm gave me just enough time to get my rifle. I don't like hurting folk, but I can't let anything happen to Maxie.
No.
You know?
I love him so much.
Gonna barricade that window. My man, thank you. You and Peggy can skate for free whenever you want, forever.
Aww.
Done deal.
I
Man, I'm just getting everything for free.
can't wait.
And now, for our final call, we have Casey, who is understandably panicked as we pick up. We learn her best friend Jason has been stabbed by the whistling woman. He's alive, barely, but bleeding heavily. And with no way to get any medical help to Jason, we're left to call a nurse who gives us the basic rundown on what to do with him. Don't pull out the knife, clean bandaging, or laundry in this case, elevate his legs if he goes into shock, you know, elementary stuff. But there's a high chance Jason won't make it, and Peggy tells us Reggie, K-Fam's manager, had everyone do a first aid course, which is awesome, if only Peggy hadn't skipped it. Luckily, if we go down to Reggie's office, we're able to find floppy disks on every employee here, and maybe if we're lucky, we can find someone nearby who can possibly help Jason more than we can. And we do! John Hedges. He didn't participate in the course, but he is an ex-war medic. And just down the street. We give him a call. He's also understandably upset, as it's like 3 a.m. at this point. But after informing him of the situation, he's happy to head over and help out. John, Casey, and John live. And also, real quick, we'll go ahead and get our final achievement for now. We still got a couple more to do. We're playing all records, giving us disc jockey.
Hello?
Forrest!
Oh, Leslie!
Sounds like
It's been years.
Surprise! It's Leslie, our 911 operator.
Nuh-uh, I'm the 911 operator.
Save us.
And then, it happens. The power is suddenly cut. And back downstairs we go to return power using a backup generator stored in Clive's office. We run down quickly, and when we return, our office door is locked. But Peggy's is now open. She's gone. When we step inside and turn around, we're greeted by the whistling woman, locking us inside the booth, who gestures for us to take the incoming call. And when we do, we're greeted by Dawn.
Where's Peggy, Don?
Have some patience, Forrest. It's almost the end of the night. Almost the end of the show. But it's not over just yet. Got a little time still.
Where it's revealed Dawn is holding office candidate Teddy Gallows hostage somewhere. It's our job to keep her talking until we're able to inform Leslie where she's keeping him. But wait. Repeat that again? Sorry, I don't see Teddy in this room. So if she's with him, who's with us? That's right, people, there are two. Dawn, our whistling woman, also known as Marie Campbell, Peggy's sister. Unfortunate ex-girlfriend of George Barrow, and her son, Henry. Both fixated on the thirst for revenge against Teddy, whose rich family covered up the murder in favor of their son's reputation, and those that were there the night of her lover's murder. After getting her to talk long enough, we discover Marie, or Dawn, is keeping Teddy in the school gym, which, as it's being broadcasted, gives Leslie and the officers from Henderson the location needed to capture Dawn and soon Henry, who was still across from us in Forrest's office, ending Whistling Night and earning us Not All Talk for everyone surviving and Forrest Dash for completing the game in under 4 hours. But don't tune us out too quickly now, we still have one more run to go, for the achievement Killer Frequently, where no one survives. And we'll get to that right after this break. That is actually not happening because I'm not monetized yet. But if you would like to change that, subscribe. Anyways, let's get to it. Okay, so for the purpose of not drawing out this video longer than needs to be, because I don't think I really have to re-explain all the calls again, and also because I realized that while recording this one, the audio was really quiet for some reason, we're just gonna speedrun through all the, like, ending kills. I don't think that made sense. Let's go with it though. So yeah. We're gonna do that real quick, and I will see you guys whenever everyone is dead. Interrupting this one just to say that Roller, Ricky, and Max are my favorite characters, and I still feel guilty about this one. Anyways, almost there.
Is he?
He's gone.
Oh, Jason.
Your friend. They tried everything they could. They said he just lost too much blood.
Okay, we are finally here at the ending. This was actually really interesting to see. I've never seen this ending before. And I think it's kind of funny how, like, nothing happens.
Back off. Don't come in.
Everyone just kind of dies. Anyways, that was the killer frequency 100%. I'll go ahead and do my outro over this ending. But yeah, that was the 100%. If you guys have any other achievements that any other games that you guys want to see me try to attempt 100% on, or any other kind of little challenges, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Or if you're interested, I do have a Discord server where you can come and chat to me and other really cool people. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to follow my socials. I think this is the third time I've said it, but subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of my content. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching all the way through, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!